With minor variations, preschoolers can be tested for distance visual acuity with the Snellen Big E chart. Sanitize your hands, greet the parent of the child, and introduce yourself. Identify the parent and child and explain what you plan to do. Tell the child you will be playing a pointing game, but don't force her to play because the results would then tend to be inaccurate. Draw the capital letter E on an index card and teach the child to point in the direction of the open part of the E by turning the card in different directions, using such phrases as fingers or the legs of the table to describe the open part of the E helps the child understand what is expected. Allow the child to practice the pointing game with the index card until you are sure this level of skill has been mastered. Praise the child whenever she gives the correct response. Position the child on the marked line located 20 feet from the eye chart. Position the center of the Snellen chart at the child's eye level. Stand next to the chart so that you can indicate the line the child should identify. Test the acuity of the right eye. First, show the child how to hold the occluder. Do not allow the child to use her hand to occlude her sight. This may encourage peeking through the fingers. Ask the child to cover her left eye with the eye occluder. Instruct the child to keep the left eye open. Tell the child not to squint or lean forward during the test. Start by pointing to a line that is several lines above 20/20 to give the child confidence and help her become familiar with the procedure. A suggestion is to start with the 20/70 line. Ask the child to say aloud what direction the E's are pointing on this line. If the child can identify the 20/70 line, proceed down the chart until reaching the smallest line of E's the child can identify. If the child is unable to read the 20/70 line, go up the chart until you reach the smallest line she can read. While the child is reading, check for squinting, head tilting, and eye watering. Jot down the numbers that were at the side of the smallest line of letters that the child was able to identify. With her right eye, Caroline identified the 20/20 line with one error. This is interpreted as 20/20 minus 1. If one or two letters were missed, record the visual acuity with a minus sign next to the bottom number along with the number of letters missed. If more than 2 letters were missed, the previous line is recorded. Next, ask the child to cover the right eye with the occluder while keeping the right eye open. Measure the visual acuity in the left eye following the same steps you did for the right eye. With her left eye, Caroline identified the 20/30 line with no errors, but could not identify any letters on the 20/20 line. This means that Caroline has 20/30 vision in her left eye. Chart your results. Include the date and time, the name of the test, which is the Snellen Big E test, the visual acuity results, and any unusual symptoms the child exhibited during the test. And be sure to chart if the child was wearing corrective lenses during the test. The abbreviation for without correction is SC, and the one for with correction is CC. Disinfect the eye occluder with an antiseptic wipe. Sanitize your hands.